Alright, back again, Luke here. And today we've got out the European version NES, and I figured we could put in this game here. Batman Return of the Joker. So, let's pop this in and play some of that. Now this is a game that I finally had a chance to play through here recently after getting this NES working. That was donated here to me. And I figured we could give this a bit of a playthrough, or do some gameplay on it. It's got a very short intro, but we'll let it roll through anyway. And there's our intro. So let's start this up and get right into it. Two things you can do at the beginning here. You can start up a new game, or you can put in a password and pick up where you left off. The passwords in the game are something that you can get after you clear the stage, and to get the password just by pressing the start button, you can see it. It'll show up on the pause menu. So let's jump into it here and give it a go. Now this is a game that I really didn't know what I was going to get into when I first started playing it. Right at the beginning, just had a really original Batman feel to it. The music and everything, I mean, being by Sunsoft, kept that whole magic that the original had here. But it added a couple of different extras, and I'll show you those extras as we go along here. As far as the basic moves go, by pressing down and the A button we can slide here, try not to get killed. You can slide. By pressing the B button is your shot. By holding it down with a powered up weapon, you can shoot out a special weapon. Each weapon is different here. And you'll notice there's an L and a B on the side there. And with the L, if you wind up getting, well, I'm not gonna get that down there we go. Let's see. This one's a bit of a different one. This is kind of a cool weapon here. With the L1, eventually throughout the game you'll wind up getting some different orbs that enemies will drop. And when the enemies drop the orbs, if you pick up 5 of them, you can have like an invincibility, limited time invincibility, where he is constantly shooting and no one can basically touch him. Some interesting parts about the game here is that the stages are quite short. They don't go on very long at all, so you can wind up clearing a stage quite easily. In some of the later parts, however, the stages are really, really difficult. And no matter how short they are, they're just really tough to get through. Here's our segue into the next section. Now, this is a game where some places, if you can take your time, you should take it. Other places here where you're being rushed along, you really got to be careful. And you really have to have some power-ups, or else, I mean, you're just asking to get killed. With these enemies here with the power-ups, it's a lot easier to defeat them, but if you don't have a power-up, you might wind up spending, you know, a few minutes just trying to shoot and kill them, just with multiple shots here. The game does ramp up the difficulty factor quite a bit, and it does that in a way that's kind of cheap here. Like, sometimes it'll force you to run into enemies just because it's trying to move you along. Sometimes it'll knock you backwards. These are the orbs that I was talking about here. The L up there, that's your life. The B is the orbs, I think. Oh no! As I'm talking and not paying attention. But it will really test you in this game here. Now we have single shots, so what I'll show you is how difficult this can be until we get our weapon upgrade here. And sometimes the hit detection is almost none, so we're really just trying to survive here. I don't think we're gonna make it. Probably just gonna die. Ah, jeez. But the game does constantly get more and more challenging, and one thing about the game is that the boss battles are quite unique, and in a way they're quite difficult to get used to. Something that I really wasn't a big fan of when I first played the game. I'm still not a big fan of it. It's one of those things that requires you to have like a turbo feature or so on your controller, just because if you manually try and push it or mash the buttons, it takes a long time. I was feeling we're probably gonna die. Can't remember where enemies are. This might be the end of it. Here we are. Okay, we're gonna come up on our boss battle. Now, what it does is it kind of puts you at like a fist-to-fist here. It'll give you both a certain amount of power. And the idea is for you to get the other guy down first, you know, try and destroy him before he destroys you. Sometimes, in some cases, just the difference in power can be so much that it's unfair. It's not bad in the earlier stages, but when it comes down to some of the later stages, like level 6-3 is one that comes to mind, I just find that one really cheap. Because you can see here, each time you get hit, it takes down quite a bit of power. And you can hear like this sound in the background that sounds like diddly diddly, and that's your power or his power, whoever's power going down. But that's the end of our stage there. Depending on which stage it is, like I said, it can take quite a bit of time, and around stages like 6-3, it's just painful to go through. But the game is unique. It just really is its own kind of Batman. I find it more challenging than the original Batman by a long shot, just because of the way it's designed. But some things are cheap as well, like if you hit... if you overjump here, you die. If you hit something and an object falls, like if it falls on, for example, that last platform there, if anything falls on it, the platform will start moving, and the platform doesn't come back. So once it leaves, that's the end. You pretty much have to kill yourself in order to get back to where you want to be. So you have to watch out for timing and stuff as well. I think I'll just keep this one here. Kind of like this one. But you can walk with your weapon charged up. The game is just... it's got a really interesting learning curve to it. Let's see, the special one. I like this one better. It's like some of the weapons are just like with a drop shot bomb or so. But it is an interesting game nonetheless. It does have some pretty cool stage designs. But it's definitely a game that, here we go, here's our Super Batman, so he's pretty much untouchable here. And you can press and hold your button and it'll give you like this massive power shot that you can use. If not, you just hold it down while you're shooting. And be all set here. But you can see how the stages just kind of go along really quickly. There's a good mix between like these side-scrolling ones where he's flying, and then the other ones where it's the action stage where he's on the ground. But yeah, I mean, overall, this is a unique game. I think for some people, it's one of those games that they either love or they can't get into. But it does have some unique characteristics to it, and I think it's pretty fun for the most part once you get down the curve to it for the difficulty, as well as if you have a controller that has a turbo feature on it for shot, you will definitely find this game a lot easier to play. If not, you'll probably find your hand falling off halfway through the game. But nonetheless, here, just wanted to give you guys a little bit of a look at what Batman looks like, Return of the Joker for the NES. And it's an interesting game. It's got some cheap moves. And yeah, if you get a chance and you want to give it a shot, might recommend just giving it a go and see what you think. But that's about all for me for right now. Like always, I'll put up another video here soon, so thanks for watching. I'm walking really slow here because these bombs, they come out of nowhere, and you know, when they land on you, it's just like, and you really gotta watch out for these guys here and these wizards, because they'll knock you backwards, and if you're on ice, they'll send you flying, and sometimes you'll go flying into a ditch and die. Batman in a ditch. Where is it? I think it's up here. Yeah, so like if you get hit by that while you're walking along the ice, it'll knock you backwards and you'll die. Jeez, like that. Wow. That was close. But you learn these things as you play the game, and you find yourself just repeating the stages over and over again. But, I didn't want that. But, it was either that or I was going to fall off the ledge, so one of the two here. But yeah, I think that's about good enough. I suppose we'll play just a little bit more. just try a little bit more. Get through the stage here. But to see the password here, you can hit start, and then that's your password. But the regular single shot takes forever. Jeez, I did that again. Everything is against you in this game. I think there's another one, another set of rocks or so. Yeah, up there. Oh, and that's the other thing too. Like, if there's something blocking, like you can see there, I couldn't shoot him because the weapon section was in the way. The little weapon box. So that's another thing that's kind of a pain here. Come on, fall. Ah, it did. I think these ones are instant kills too, so. Yeah, you gotta wait. Yep. Wait and jump right into the spikes. Good fun. And it'll bring you back here. So, that's enough, guys. Thanks again, and I'll see you here soon.